Congress could save lives across the country, finally adding potentially deadly low-head dams into a national inventory that warns the public. Those dams can create so-called drowning machines with a killer current. Your chief investigative reporter, Sam Smink, is here to explain.
There are 369 low-head dams in Connecticut, according to the largest existing formal catalog of low-head dams across the nation. As national investigative reporter Josie Sturman discovered, the work to find them all could still take years.
Yeah, it was probably my second time in a kayak in my life, and I'm just following him.
It was supposed to be a joyful father-son trip down the Delaware River until Jim and Jonathan Gentile encountered a low-head dam.
The way he went over, it just dumped him right into the vortex. Mine, it shot me out past it. So then I see something pop up out of the water, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's his backpack at least. So I swim over and I grab it. It wasn't his backpack, it was his life vest, and he was still in it. And I'm screaming, dial 911.
Jim, an experienced nurse, was powerless in an emergency that would stop Jonathan's heart and break his.
He was my baby. I couldn't save him. Sorry. We have to stop this. We have to warn the public.
Warning about a deadly drowning machine. The kind we found claim as many as 50 lives a year across the country. When rivers and creeks are at a certain level, some dam structures can create an often inescapable backwash.
As you go over, you get into this hydraulic, and you've got this aeration. Even if you're wearing a life vest, you can still have a real problem in not being able to, get enough air because it's continuing to take you down, just like, the washing machine.
A deadly spin cycle that Tom Smith with the American Society of Civil Engineers explains exists at so-called low-head dams. Despite decades of tragedy, no one in the federal government has been officially keeping track of low-head dams. And barely more than a dozen states actually record and publicize their locations to warn the public.
We want to make sure it's a priority in every state so they don't have to be reacting when somebody drowns.
It's now a priority for the feds, with Congress passing legislation finally adding low-head dams into the national dam inventory that's public, tracking down where they are, their conditions, and what hazards exist. But finding all of those low-head dams, we're told, could take years, with concerns about funding the job and figuring out who's responsible for them.
There's an enormous amount of work that has to be done.
It's work we discovered is complicated, with murky or mysterious ownership issues uncovered in property records, state and local documents, and verified sources. Our national investigative team dug through the largest existing formal catalog of low-head dams across the nation. We found thousands with reportedly unknown or unclear owners. More than 90 of those have been linked to at least one death.
What we'd like to be able to do is provide enough information that we can avoid the tragedy.
U.S. Senator Kevin Cramer, among the lawmakers who pushed for the bill that adds low-head dams into the national inventory, says information about these hazards will help keep the public safe by getting the word out.
It's to help states and local governments know what they have on their hands, and then to start preparing and planning for the costs associated.
People like Jim Gentile say they've already paid too much.
Here it is, it's almost 3 years later, and it still hurts like hell.
He wants the dam that took his son's life classified by the federal government as a lowhead and added into the national inventory so more people will know about the silent killer that sits below the water.
Of the 369 low-head dams in Connecticut, 114 have unknown or unclear owners. According to research, there have been 5 deaths at low-head dams in Connecticut since 2000. The Army Corps of Engineers says it hopes to have a web page that lets people search through an initial set of known low-head dams later this year. But although the agency got funding to get started, it says that it hasn't yet received additional funding to continue this year. Your chief investigative reporter, Sam Smink, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Sam, thank you.